All right, Nicole, you ready?
Yep.
All right, cool. So I'll go ahead and get started. So first of all, thank you everybody for coming out today for one of Sustainable Claremont's virtual dialogues. Still doing the virtual dialogues this deep into the pandemic, and hopefully soon we'll be back in person. A couple of quick announcements before we get to our speaker today. The first is that in just 2 weeks, we're going to be having our annual gala. And so Nicole's going to drop into the chat box the link for gala tickets if anyone's interested in coming. We've got a really exciting night planned. We've got live music from Cassidy Hale, who you might remember from last year. He's going to play us some good tunes to get us started. And then we have a great speaker in Monica Embry, who will be coming to give us a really inspirational, very timely presentation about her effort as one of the lead campaigners on that was successful in getting LA County to close down oil and fossil gas drilling in unincorporated areas of LA County. So you might have seen that in the news last week, but it was a major victory that they just had. And she's going to be speaking to us at our gala. So really excited for that. We'll also be releasing our annual report in about 2 weeks, hopefully the day of the gala. That'll be available for everyone. So please check that out. We've got a lot of plantings coming up, a lot more dialogues coming up on water, on the drought. We have a dialogue from the Tongva coming up in a couple months here. So the best way to keep on top of all of the dialogues and events that we have is to sign up for a newsletter. If you're not already on our list, please consider dropping your email into that. So Nicole put into the chat box the link for our newsletter. And that's really the best way to keep up to date on all things sustainable in the community. Okay, so with that, let me introduce our speaker today. We're very excited to have friend of Sustainable Claremont, Alex Garibay, back. Alex is from SCE's Community and Climate team. You may recognize him from our virtual home tour. So a couple months back, Alex was kind enough to join us on the last night of the tour, which was the renter and senior community night. And so we were trying to really focus on those things that renters or non-homeowners can do to increase their energy efficiency measures. And so Alex was kind enough to join us and talk about some behavior changes that we all can make for energy efficiency upgrades, for rental assistance, for your power bill, and to help all of us live more sustainably, more energy efficiently. And today he's back to talk with us about available COVID-19 resources, ways to increase your energy preparedness and resiliency, especially during these increasingly warmer months that we're all living through, with the exception of today, which is actually a pretty nice fall day. So we'll be thankful for that. So Alex, we're super happy to have you back. I'm going to throw it to you in just a second. If you have any questions during Alex's presentation, please feel free to drop them into the chat box, and Alex will try to answer them at that time if it's appropriate, or Nicole and myself will grab all those questions and ask them to Alex at the end. Or if you'd like to unmute yourself at the end of Alex's presentation, you could raise your hand and unmute yourself and ask him directly. Okay, so with that, Alex, go ahead and take it away.
All right, let's do this. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Stuart, for the presentation, for the introduction. As you mentioned, my name is Alex Garibay. I'm with Southern California Edison. And basically what I do is, it's this right here, is work with organizations that can help us share information about the different programs and resources that we have available for customers in Edison territory. And I do agree with you, Stuart. It is nice to finally have some sort of fall weather, right? Especially in California, where it feels like it's summer 11 out of the 12 months. So we'll take it. As I share some of these resources, and believe me, we're not going to take much of your time. We know it's middle of the day, it's lunchtime. So first of all, thank you for joining us. I want you to think about, when we get to the question part or as we go into the presentation, questions that you may have about just different resources that are available for you as a customer that you may not be aware of or you would like more information. So as I share some of our PDFs, our fact sheets, and some portions of our website, I'll make sure Stuart has these resources so that he can send them to you as a follow-up. And my contact information will also be made available. So I can definitely make myself available to help answer any questions that you may have that may come up maybe later during the day. And you're like, oh, I forgot to ask Alex this. You're more than welcome to reach out, and we'll do our best to get you an answer to your question. So 3 things that I'll cover today. Number 1 is giving you information on the resources that Southern California Edison has available for customers that have been impacted by COVID-19. The second part will be talking about our time of use rates and transition and rate options that customers have. And then the last piece will be sharing information on customer care programs and resources to help customers be prepared in the event of a wildfire or a disaster. So those are the 3 topics that we're going to touch on. And as Stuart mentioned, if you have questions, please feel free to put them on the chat. We'll do our best to answer them as we move along, or at the end, we'll just play it by ear. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So hopefully everyone is able to see what I'm sharing on the screen. And it's basically a PDF that talks about financial assistance that we have for customers that have been impacted by COVID. One of the things that I like to call out is that we at Edison, we understand that the impacts of COVID, unfortunately, are not going to go away anytime soon. And what I mean by that is, even if we see cases decreasing, people are still being impacted financially. There's folks that unfortunately are still looking for work, or if they are working, maybe their income is not where it used to be, and they are faced with situations where, do I pay my utility bill? Do I use the money for groceries? Do I use the money to pay for my rent or mortgage? And these are decisions that individuals have to make. So from the Edison side, I want to bring awareness that, we have assistance for you. One of the assistance that was extended, and it will be expiring within a few days, is that individuals that could not pay their utility bill, their electric bill, we suspended service disconnections, meaning if customers could not pay their bill because of COVID, their service will not be disconnected. They will still have light. The lights will be working at home, and that's going to be through September 30th. So obviously, we're literally on the heels of that date, right? So then it's, Alex, then what? Once October 1st happens, what's going to happen? I really want to encourage you to reach out to us so that we can help you out if you're still facing that hardship. There are programs that are available for you. There are programs that have been here before COVID and are going to be here before COVID. These are our income assistance programs. They are called CARE or FARA. And again, this information will be on the fact sheet that Stuart can make available to you post our webinar. And these programs are for customers that are low income. Obviously, there is an application process. And if customers meet the qualification guidelines, they can receive up to 30% discount on their electric bill on a monthly basis. Another program that's available is, obviously, if customers were not able to pay their bill because of COVID through those months, there is an opportunity for customers to put on a payment plan. So that way you can pay that balance, but work with us so that we can work with your current income and see how much you can pay and for that period of time. We also have a program that's our Energy Assistance Fund. This program, again, with eligibility, customers can receive a one-time payment assistance to pay their electric bill. And I believe it's anywhere from $200 to $300. Again, it's a one-time assistance. And then the last program that I want to call out is our Medical Baseline Program. So this is a program that's available for customers that may have medical equipment at home that needs to be plugged in 24 hours a day. This program allows customers to, number one, apply, and then once approved, knowing that this person has equipment plugged in around the clock, you'll be put on a rate where you won't have to pay normal price for energy because due to a medical condition. So if you are someone like that, or you know of somebody like that, please share this information. I'll be completely transparent with you. It shocks me and it doesn't. And what I mean by that is, it's always interesting to see how many of our customers are not aware of the different programs that are available. And that's why I'm doing this today, to be able to give you an opportunity to put a face to the Edison brand. I know it's not the most handsome face, but at least you have a contact, a person on the utility side that can help you get to those resources. And again, I highly encourage you, if you can either go to the website, as you see on the bottom of the PDF, se.com/find support. You will need to, if you want to apply for these programs, you will need to log in with your user ID and your password, so make sure you are signed up. If you want to call, you're more than welcome to do so, but I will be completely honest with you. The wait time is a little bit longer than expected. For one of the main reasons is that the service disconnection is coming to an end. So a lot of people are getting on the phone and trying to figure out what their options are, right? So if you can do the website, you can do that. If you have an in-language need other than English, when you go to the website on the upper right-hand corner, it allows you to select the language of your preference, and all of the content on the website will be translated to that language that you select. So website preferably, but if you want to speak with someone, go ahead and use the phone. Just know that the whole time will be a little bit longer than what we usually have. Okay. Any questions? And I'm turning over. So if you see the side profile on my face, I'm sorry. I have the screen set up. Okay, no questions. I appreciate Stuart for putting the link there. All right, the next one, I'm gonna bring up my my browser to talk about time of use transition. So what is time of use transition? So time of use transition is a program that allows you to select a plan for your energy that allows you to, gives you an opportunity to save money depending on how much energy you use and the time of day. So what I really like to illustrate, and Stuart, if you want to put the link, you can literally copy the link that's here. So that way people can go visit after. And it's TOU, actually I'll type it, it'll probably be a lot easier. se.com /TOU and me. This is a really good website because it's, and I'll go through the design just real quick. It gives you just an overview of what time of use is. This infographic is my favorite because it really illustrates, and this is where I'm going to spend a few minutes, is for power, we have off-peak and on-peak hours. And the way I like to illustrate this, and I'm going to age myself here, is if you recall when cell phones started becoming more popular, I want to say 98, 99, 2000, you could purchase a cell phone plan that would allow you to select minutes where, depending if you talk more during the day or in the evening, you can select the plan that would give you the most minutes, and you're paying the least amount for those minutes. Almost the same concept, right? So what we want to encourage you, and we know it's not easy sometimes, but we want to help you get there, is if you're an individual that is at home during the day and you have the opportunity to, run those appliances that use a lot of energy, like your washer, dryer, dishwasher, we encourage you to do so, because using those appliances during the day before 4 p.m., which is what you see here on the off-peak, you are using energy that is cheaper during that time. So you're not going to be paying a lot. What we want to avoid is for you to use those appliances between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. So that's the busy time, right? Think of, I don't like to say this, but it's the only thing that comes to mind. It's the traffic hours, right? Everybody's using energy. Everybody's getting home from work or from doing their errands. If you're running your washer, dryer, or dishwasher at this time, energy is a little bit more expensive. However, if you can accommodate and you can do those appliances in the evening after 9 p.m., we highly encourage you to do so. And the reason I keep saying encourage, it's because I know it's not easy, right? One of the things that always comes to mind is we live in Southern California. One of the things of having great weather, it means it gets pretty warm even in October. And sometimes, it's kind of hard not to run your AC at 4 o'clock when it's really hot. So some of the suggestions is, and you've probably seen the commercials, you've seen it you've heard it probably on the radio, is, cool your house if you can during the day. And then around that 9 p.m., if you can have blinds, close your blinds, or curtains that block out the heat and the sun to just keep that cool, fresh in your house would be really helpful. But it's just a way of giving you options on how you can save money during the day, especially when you're using that energy, right? Then a couple of things I want to highlight on the website. additional tips on how to save energy and money throughout the day. It gives you information on if you're an individual has a lot of technology devices at home, like a smart thermostat. You have those light bulbs that are plugged into Amazon Alexa. I know a lot of people those are pretty popular, or other things that you have at home that can help you save energy. Here are some additional tips, but we also have a website where you can purchase items that are friendly with the environment, but also allow you to control your energy usage. Like I said, the thermostat, just your behavior and things like that. And then the benefits of time of use, right? When you're time of use, meaning you're using your appliances during off-peak hours, you're using more green energy. You're saving money by using lower off-peak rates, and it allows you to take control of your monthly bill, right? So at the beginning of the presentation, I talked about how you can apply for programs that can help you save money. So that's an immediate change that you can make, and you can see an impact financially, right? Think of time of use as a change in your lifestyle that's going to give you a long-term benefit. You're not only able to save money in your bill in the long run, but you're also helping the environment by using greener energy. I see a question. Alex, is that off-peak morning to 4 p.m. power typically cleaner and renewable power? The answer is yes. And I can go ahead and follow up with a great fact sheet that really dives into answering those questions. So that way it helps you understand more about why, in addition to just helping you save money, how are we making an impact in the environment? And I know that's a very important topic to you guys and to the organization. So I'll make sure I get that out to you guys. And then last but not least, I'm bringing up a different PDF. So our last topic is programs around wildfire and safety preparedness, right? The benefit, and I think this is the third time I said of living in Southern California, we have amazing weather all year round, even in November, even in December. However, I feel that comes at a cost, right? Unfortunately, we have our fifth unofficial season, which is wildfire season. And, we want to make sure that our customers are aware of the programs that are available to prepare for those situations, but also be prepared in the event that you may have to evacuate, in the event that there's a fire in your area, in the event that power has to be turned off to prevent the fire from spreading. One of the things that I always like to call out in these types of webinars is, are you prepared for an emergency? And I'm sure most of us have seen the commercials from the American Red Cross, especially when an earthquake happens, which it happened not that long ago. You kind of start seeing those ads come up, right? Do you have an emergency kit available? Do you have water? Do you have cash on hand? Well, other things that you can prepare yourself in the event of an emergency is something very basic. Is if power is turned off, you need to evacuate your home, and your only way to evacuate is through your garage door. Do you know how to open your garage door manually? And I'll be completely transparent with you. When I first started working on this program, I never thought about that. And I went to my parents. For full disclosure, I use my parents as my guinea pigs to test out a lot of the things we work on. I'm like, okay, if they understand it, there's a good chance we're doing a good job at explaining it. So I was having lunch with my parents, and I said, hey, I asked my dad, do you know how to open the garage door manually? And my dad, he's like, yeah, there's a little string with the little red cap. You pull it and it opens. And I'm like, well, have you done it? Because I think they've been living at that house for 15 years. And that I recall, I don't remember them replacing that garage door remote. So he's like, I haven't done one. Let's try it. I told him, because I want to learn, which is true. I wanted to see it. So he pulled it. It was a little hard. And then he yanked it. The string ripped. He ended up with just a string on his hand. And he was looking at me. He's like, I think I kind of need to fix it. I'm like, yeah, you kind of have to fix it, Dad. So we called somebody that replaced the remote. We brought a brand new unit. But it just goes to show that there's things that sometimes we don't know that need repair or maintenance, not because we neglect them, but because we just haven't had the need to use them. What would have happened if they need to leave the house through the garage door? There's no power, and that thing rips on him when there's an emergency or a disaster happening. So those are the things that we want to call out. We have areas on our website where you can get ideas of what are the things you need to look for. So on this PDF, what I have here is highlighting just different rebate programs that are available for customers to prepare in the event of a power shutoff or an evacuation. One of them is we have rebates for portable power stations. So, again, tying it with what I said a few minutes ago, right? If there's folks at home that have medical equipment, the power goes off because of an emergency, you want to be able to keep that equipment running. So there are rebates available for generators. It's in our marketplace area, and the link is right there so you can visit it. We also have, as I mentioned, our critical backup battery program, which is what I just shared. And then here in the last two bullets of this PDF, it gives you more information on the medical baseline program and how to apply. We did change some of our guidelines on how to apply to accommodate the non-in-person engagement where you can do it digitally to accommodate that. We understand that there's people that are vulnerable and they don't feel comfortable going out, or they're doing the doctor visits through a computer. You can also have your doctor help you apply for this program because that's one of the requirements through an online method. And then we also have, in the event that there's an evacuation, we do have what we call our community crew vehicles or our resource centers. So our community crew vehicles are small vans. They kind of look like the size of maybe an ice cream van, but they have all the Edison color, the yellow, the black, and basically they go to communities when there's a need, right? They provide waters. They have charging stations if you need to charge your cell phone. They have ice if you need to get some sort of the basics, right? And obviously, if those crew vehicles are deployed, we will share that information with organizations like the one we're speaking with today, so that way they're in the know and they can push that out to you as a community member saying, hey, if power's been turned off because of X, Y reason, this community crew vehicle, I'm making this name up, okay? It's at Claremont Community Park. Please go there and they'll be able to help you out. We have also partnered up with 211, which is an organization that provides additional services. So if you're a person that has limitations on being able to leave your house for a medical condition or just an access functional need, 211 is a great resource to reach out, and they will make sure that you get the transportation that you need or direct you to the right location where you can get additional resources. And 211 is a partnership that we have with Edison. So they're very well educated on just the different resources that are available. And then last but not least, just customer notifications, right? We highly encourage you to sign up for these notifications so that if power is turned off, you can get an idea of when power will be turned on. It'll give you just a very high level reason of what it is, if it's maintenance or if it's to a wildfire. That way you can plan, right? Again, if you're a person that you need your medical equipment or you need certain things in your home to be powered by electricity and you're not there, you can look at that notification and be like, okay, I'm not going to have access to this for the next few hours. I can sit tight, or I need to call somebody because I need to make sure that I still get what I need. So with that said, that's really what I wanted to share with you. I really, really hope I didn't confuse you. I helped you more with learning about the different resource channels that we have available for within Edison for our customers. So I'm gonna go to the questions because I do see some comments here. I believe I have, and I'm gonna read them off the chat, so just bear with me. I believe I have seen SC advertise rebates programs for portable solar battery. Is this correct? So yes, that is correct, and that is what you see on the PDF that I have available. Is the self-generation incentive program. So if you go to that link, it'll give you more information on how you can apply for it. As a matter of fact, Stuart, please hold me accountable to this. We do have a video that talks about the portable solar power battery that really explains how it works and when you can apply. So please make sure I get that to you. I'll make a note to get it with these resources, but that way you can share it, and it does a really good job at just explaining the program. Can you explain more about the SGIP program, who qualifies, how it works for homes in Claremont? I don't have the full details, Ross, about the program and how it works. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spend some time before I send the notes to Stuart. I'm going to get information from the link that you see here on the SGIP program, which is what you're asking. And I'll go ahead and call out a few of those highlights so that way they can be on the front. And then if you want more information, you can go to the website. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't manage the program directly, so I don't want to misspeak about the program, misinform you, and then take you down the wrong path. I'm just being fully transparent with you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, Ross, I can hear you.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been on that SGIP website before and tried to understand it, and I've gone through it myself previously, and I've just been so confused about who qualifies and the tiers, and is it residential, is it commercial? So yeah, I found it very confusing. That's all I have to say. Maybe it's been updated since I looked at it last. I don't know.
No, thank you for speaking up. So this is what I'll do. I'll reach out to the program manager. And then if you want to send Stuart your contact information, and he can get it to me so that way we don't put it on the chat, keep it, respect your privacy. And I'll have them reach out to you so that they can answer every question, because I want to make sure you have a clear understanding of the program, because you're asking valid questions. It's who qualifies for it, right? Okay, I see it. Stuart put his email. So if you can, Russ, if you can send them your email, and I'll make sure someone reaches out to you. Does that work?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to put in battery storage eventually in my house. So that's great.
Okay, perfect. I'll get somebody to reach out to you. And then I see another question. How is Edison transforming itself to move into a future, into a future of all green energy? How will electric power be generated in that future? So our overall goal is to have clean energy, and we're working, it's called Clean Energy Path into 2045, right? So we're doing many changes in the programs that we support. One of them is really pushing clean energy. Obviously, time of use, as I mentioned, is one of them. Helping customers understand that they can, there's ways that they can change their behavior, change their lifestyle. We also, one of the things that we've done is, and I've seen the shift, I've been with the company for 12 years, is we educate customers on different alternatives on how they can change their household to be more green energy friendly, right? So I can, there's a couple of resources that come to mind. This is the first time I get asked this question, I'll be completely honest with you. But there are a couple of resources that I've seen some of my colleagues have shared about this that show the changes that we're making internally with the company and how we can help our customers understand those. So I'll make sure that Stuart has that information available just to give you some context and some literature to understand kind of like what we're doing on our end to help with that. That's a really good question. You truly stumped me on that. I'll be transparent. So I'll make sure that this is something I prepare myself better as we move forward.
This is Freeman Allen. Could I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm about to install some solar panels, and the question came up of what's best, a battery or to use your service where you accept excess energy and then provide it when it's needed. Can you comment about those programs and comparing battery use with joining with SCE? It's been advised that it's better to join SCE than to buy batteries.
So Freeman, what I can tell you is I cannot fully talk about the solar because obviously it's not within our work, but we do have information that can help answer those questions. I'll make sure that Stuart gets this, and I really apologize for sounding like a broken record with following up on this, but we do have information on what are the pros and cons of solar. And to your question, which I really appreciate you hitting directly on the target, is it better with working with Edison or with the solar? I'll make sure that I get you the resources that can actually help you answer that. And I knew this was going to come up because it has come up a lot in different webinars. So that's already something that I plan on, an additional resource that I plan on sharing with Stuart so that he can pass along to you, Freeman.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I can try and answer a part of that, just to jump in. The great thing about using a battery is that when you're on those peak hours of 5 to 9, when everybody's using energy, that's when the grid is the dirtiest. You can store your solar power that you've generated during the day and use solar energy that you've stored during the day instead of using the fossil plants that are peaking, during the evening hours once the sun's gone down. That's my main reason for being interested in a battery. So I'm currently connected solar to SCE, and I put power back into the grid during the day. But I'd love to be able to reuse that energy that I produce during the day in the evening and night.
Good thought.
Thank you, Ross. Okay. I don't see any more questions, Stuart. I really appreciate the questions. This is why I like speaking with groups like this, because they really hit on the core of the business, right? And ask really good questions that, really got to make sure we have these resources available. But that's really all I had to share with you guys. Stuart, thank you for allowing me to come back. It sounds, I must have done something good the first time to get another invite.
Yeah.
And I'll say this right now, Stuart. If we need an additional webinar to focus on specific topics, we can do that. And what I will do is I'll bring the folks that manage these programs directly, so that we can have more of a two-way dialogue and dive into the nuts and bolts or the meat of that conversation to answer those questions.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. I've gotten a couple private messages and emails about wanting to do a more in-depth webinar about the SGIP program and things like that. And yeah, and so I think that'd be really helpful to, we have like a network of people who really want to get in the weeds on these things. And so I think it'd be helpful to have, folks who are really running the programs being able to speak to them directly. I think that could help us sort of.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've given them the heads up that we're doing these webinars, and they've said, yeah, if there's a need to have a more direct conversation, then they need that, then they'll make themselves available. That's
great. I'll follow up with you then about that, Alex.
Okay.
I don't see any other questions in the chat box. If anybody does have a lingering question, again, that comes up later in the day, or another part of the programming that they'd like to do a deeper dive in, please feel free to email me. You could do it through our website, just through the contact form on sustainableclaremont.org. Or my email is pretty simple. It's Stuart, Stuart, @sustainableclaremont.org. Shoot us an email, drop us a line, and we'll try to get some of these questions answered. Because I think the great thing about what we're talking about now, and especially like the SGIP program, is, people want to make these changes and they want to live more sustainably and use solar 24/7 and not just, go further than selling it back to the grid. Which I think is really important and something that at scale could be game changing. So we'd love to hear more about it. But this was like a great way to start us out, Alex. And thank you again for joining us. And thank you all for coming and spending your lunchtime with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Are there any plans for grid scale battery storage? Are there any plans for grid scale battery storage in Southern California right now?
I have not heard of any.
Because it's great for us individually to do it, but it's really up to the power company to actually do it, because we as individuals can't make that heavy lift. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard of any, but I'll ask a couple of people if they have, and then definitely if there's more out there, then I'll definitely make it available to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Take
Stuart.
care, everybody. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.